Greetings, greetings, greetings. It is I, the ELO. Shouldn't remove all this distracting stuff off the back of the couch so y'all can focus on what I'm about to say. Um, I felt led and inspired to create this quick live video based on some comments back and forth on my Facebook page. So, I guess it was a couple of months ago. I responded to Jada Pinkett Smith's video where she explained that if someone was cheating on you, that you were to look at that as self mastery, as that person trying to achieve self mastery. And when I saw that, I realized that she was compensating for, making amends for, and trying to clean up behind some dumb bullshit that she was going through. Trying to make it look sweet, trying to make it look good, trying to make it look like something that people will want to go through by throwing all these deep terms on it. Cheating is really about self-mastery. Cheating is about people who are too immature to discuss what they actually need with their partners. That's how people wind up cheating. They are not getting what they need from their partners, which may be a non-monogamous relationship. And so instead of being mature enough to discuss that, they go out and they break the commitments that were made in the relationship. Cheating is not deep. So that was my point when she made that statement. Then Will Smith recently put out a statement where he was bragging, as Krusty Foots do, about the fact that Jada cried for 45 days straight during a rough patch in their relationship. And so I posted that and I said, see, like I was saying before, cheating is abuse. Cheating is harmful to the person that you're doing it to. Cheating is bullshit, like I said before. It's not a matter of self-mastery. If it was a matter of self-mastery, then she wouldn't have been crying for 45 days. I just posted this up as response to the response that I had to the video that she made. I posted it and several people agreed with me, but there were some people who came to comment and they were bringing what I have chosen to call today a nigga narrative. You know, the narrative of the Krusty Foot. When the Krusty Foot looks at a particular situation and tries to make it seem like it's something else so that their crusty ass, abusive, hurtful, harmful behavior can remain acceptable or justified. So the first nigga narrative response, or one of the nigga narrative responses was, do we even know that he was cheating? What his cheating was already discussed in a prior video. And whether he was cheating or not is irrelevant. If you're making your partner cry for 45 days, you're trash. So this person being trash is not up for debate. So that was the first nigga narrative. He might not even have been cheating. This is a normal nigga narrative. I'm gonna give you the keys to the nigga narrative so you won't be nowhere falling prey to it. He might not have even been cheating. Let's get the full story. Let's understand what actually happened. That's the first nigga narrative. What we see plainly with our eyes and hear plainly with our ears might actually be happening. That's a nigga narrative. That's Krusty Foot bullshit. That's trying to justify some bullshit. Believe your eyes all the time, every day, all day long for the rest of your life. Your eyes don't have no reason to lie to you. So the first nigga narrative is always going to be, don't believe your eyes. Maybe something else is happening. Maybe it's something different behind it. Bullshit. Believe your eyes, believe your ears, believe your heart. Validate how an experience makes you feel and feel free to act from that because that is in your best interest. As I wrote in a play that I performed this summer, your eyes, your ears, your heart have no reason to lie to you. So that's the first nigga narrative that I want you to avoid. Is the nigga narrative that tells you not to believe your own eyes and get you to doubt your own perception and perspective. Don't fall for that nigga narrative. Let that nigga narrative go. Second nigga narrative. Well, when I was crying in my marriage, when somebody cheated on me, what I found out was that it didn't have anything to do with me. It was that own person's insecurities. And so I learned from that. Second nigga narrative is when you are in a position and something is hurting you, that you should stay there, take the pain, and learn from it. This is specifically a narrative that is pushed for Black women. That you are a receptacle that is created to take pain. That is what you are to do. And your pain is not to be taken seriously. And your pain is not anything that you should try to get away from. That's the second nigga narrative, is that you are a receptacle that is created to take pain. So this is the second nigga narrative that I want you to avoid. I can guarantee you, and I am telling you beyond the shadow of any kind of doubt, when you leave situations and people and places and things that insist upon constantly putting you in pain, you will flourish. You will thrive. You will be happy. Being a Black woman does not, never has, and never will mean that pain is what you have to take in this life to be in a relationship or to have any sort of partnership. That's not what that means. So anybody who tries to say, well, when I was in that type of pain, I learned from it and it actually made me a better person, that's another nigga narrative for you to avoid. Do not sit there and take abuse in the hopes that you are going to get reward for it in some sweet by and by. That's not what's going to happen. There's no reward for abuse. The reward for abuse is becoming a person who acts in fear all of the time, who loses the ability to act according to their own motivations. Do not sit and take pain. Anything that says you're supposed to sit and take pain is, yes, as I stated, another nigga narrative. Next nigga narrative. Somebody else posts up a link that says that at some point in her life, Jada Pinkett Smith was a sex addict. I don't give a damn. Even if she is a sex addict, she does not deserve to cry for 45 days straight. This is the next nigga narrative. Black women are not supposed to experience pleasure. If you are out here getting pleasure on a regular basis, especially sexual pleasure, then you deserve to be punished. That is another nigga narrative. I, as mother, am telling you today, don't fall for that bullshit. You are created. Your body, as a matter of fact, the clitoris of a woman is the only organ created specifically for pleasure. Only for pleasure. All that it does is receive pleasure. So you are created to receive pleasure constantly, as often as you wish, from whomever you wish. And being a person who seeks out and receives pleasure, including sexual pleasure, does not mean that it is okay to abuse you. That does not justify your abuse. It's a nigga narrative to say that that justifies your abuse. All right, let me see if I've covered them all. I feel like I'm missing one. Hold on, let me pause and think on it. Because there was one more in the comments that I definitely wanted to cover. Can't remember it. If it comes to me, I'll put it in the comments of this video. But my work in this world, my destiny in this world is to change the narrative. Specifically, the narrative that Black women are living by. When we change the narrative that Black women are living by, we change the entire world. We change the whole of Earth Mother Onile, of the earth upon which we stand and how she is being treated. Obviously, changing the narrative of Black women changes the narrative of Black children. Obviously, changing the narrative of Black women and Black children changes the narrative of the Black community. So within this destiny that I am constantly in the process of fulfilling, one of the things that I fight against constantly, always, every day, no matter what forum, whether it's face-to-face, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, or any other type of forum, what I fight against is nigga narratives. Because what is holding us hostage is believing these particular narratives. That's what holds us hostage. Every person's life is a story that they're enacting. Where do we get the story from? How do we know the story? The story is what is fed to us by societies. The story is what is fed to us by our parents, what is fed to us by our families. So the narrative that we're interacting is that story. So it is my duty, and I will do it every way and every time I see it, to change that narrative. What we are going to leave behind is these damn nigga narratives. That's what's going to get left behind. And this other one done worked my nerves so bad that I'm just going to go on my Facebook page and see what that other statement was. Because I don't want the video to be incomplete. I want the video to be thorough. But my main point has been and will always be that Black women and Black girls are human beings. That's radical. That's revolutionary. Because we've, been taught to see ourselves as something less than human or other than human or not human enough to get regular human treatment. We've been taught to see ourselves that way, and day after day, other people are taught to see us that way. So we are human beings. The first people who have to realize that is us. So I will cry it from the mountaintops every opportunity I get. Black women and girls are human beings. If anybody heard that somebody was making a person cry for 45 days, people would not be coming up with justifications as to why that was okay. Oh, it's okay to make somebody cry for 45 days. As a matter of fact, it's what should happen. But it's okay. We come up with justifications for it because the person who was crying for 45 days was a Black woman. So instead of coming to her defense, instead of coming to her aid, we justify her pain. Because when we see her in pain, we have been socialized not to take her pain seriously, to pretend that her pain doesn't exist. I'm sure you've seen the video now is viral all over social media as to why more Black women die in childbirth than any other women in the world. It is because doctors are socialized not to believe that Black women feel pain. Physical pain during childbirth. So when a Black woman, and I've been there, I've almost died twice because nobody listens when you say something doesn't feel right. This feels fine. Nobody's listening. because you don't feel pain. That's the same thing that I'm discussing with this particular situation. The woman is crying for 45 days. And instead of saying, damn, that's fucked up, something horrible must be happening to her, we are off trying to find justifications as to why it's okay for anybody to sit up and cry for 45 days. Come on, church. Come on. All right, I remember what the last nigga narrative is, and this is the nigga narrative. I think I see some of this nigga narrative in these comments right here. When I spoke on the fact that anybody crying for 45 days is abuse, one of the retorts that I got was, you must be showing your own wounds. I am showing my own wounds. I am. Because that's another main nigga narrative, ain't it? Who hurt you? Oh, somebody must have did something really bad to you. That's true. Somebody did. And it is a nigga narrative to try to make me feel as though I'm doing something wrong for admitting that I have been hurt. How does that make sense? It only makes sense within the context of me not being human. The who hurt you narrative, oh, you must be talking about somebody that hurt you in your past. That narrative only makes sense if I'm not a human being, right? But if I'm a human being, it would make sense that when I have been hurt and I see somebody else being hurt in the same way, that I'm going to identify with that and say, yes, that is very painful. Yes, that's terrible. If you look at me as a human being, then that's what you expect me to do. Oh, that's terrible. I remember when somebody hurt me that way. Let me go and help. Let me see what I can do to alleviate that pain. Let me see what I can put into place so that other people don't feel that kind of pain. That's normal. But for me to react that way as a black woman is something to be judged. It's something to be spoken about as if I'm doing something wrong. Yes, I'm showing my own wounds. There's no way not to. I will be 49 in a week. It would be impossible for me to have lived this life and not have some wounds. Wounds are part of the reward I get for having stayed here. I'm still here. So yes, some wounds. Yes, some scars. Yes, some shit I'm mad about. Yes, some shit that hurt me. I'm human. Black women are human. Yes, shit in my past hurt me. And you don't get to shame me for being hurt. Why don't you go and shame the person who did the hurting? You trying to shame the person who's hurting, who was hurt, but you ain't got shit to say to the motherfucker who was doing the hurting. That's completely ridiculous. That's ludicrous. Yes, I'm showing my wounds, and I show my wounds, and I speak about my pain, and I speak about the abuse that I have endured and moved past and thrived even beyond, because I want every black woman and girl to know that she doesn't have to suffer in silence. Suffering in silence is a nigga narrative. Fuck that. You don't have to suffer in silence. If something hurts you, say that shit hurts you. And if a motherfucker try to shame you for saying that some shit hurts you, then that motherfucker is abusive. Shit hurts living beings. You can hurt a motherfucking plant. You can hurt a motherfucking cat. You can hurt a motherfucking dog. You can hurt a damn bird. You can hurt a snail, a roach. All this shit can get hurt. Then black women can get hurt too. And it ain't no shame in it. I am a live, living being. So yes, shit hurts. So yeah, that's the last nigga narrative that needs to be discussed. Is, oh, I guess somebody has hurt you. Well, hell, I guess they have. I'm almost 50 years old. A whole bunch of motherfuckers done hurt me. And some more gonna hurt me on down the line as I keep on living this particular life. So I guess that's really what you talking about. You ain't talking about this situation. No, I'm talking about this situation. My experience allows me to see this situation clearly. And I will not be shamed for having experience. Don't let nobody shame you for having experience. Fuck that. And tell them fuck them when they come to you with that attempt to shame you for having experience. And yes, your experience will give you deeper insight into shit because you've seen it before. You've lived in it before. You've been in it before. So am I speaking from the position of me? Always. I'm always speaking from the position of me. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. Am I bitter? Yeah, some shit I'm bitter about. I'm a human being. Am I angry? Hell yes, I'm a whole bunch of shit I'm angry about. I'm a human being. Am I hurt? Yeah, some shit that hurt me. That's nothing to be ashamed of. Don't allow anyone, black women, people in general, but specifically black women, don't allow anyone to make you feel ashamed of your humanity, of your tenderness, of your fragility. You have the right to feel. You have the right to feel. You were born with these feelings, and it is your right to have them. So anyway, that's it for me. This is my brief little foray into this. But as I was rolling these things over in my psyche, I was like, this deserves a video. Let me do a video on the nigger narratives that we are very often and commonly subjected to and how to avoid them. So in closing, avoid nigger narratives, ladies. Avoid nigger narratives. Live your own life. Be unapologetic and unfailingly loyal to yourself. And however this self feels, be loyal to that. Don't allow anyone to shame that out of you. You have a right to your feelings. All right. Love, light, darkness, ecstasy, abundance, and bliss upon everyone within the sound of my voice who is wishing the same for me and mine. And as always, we wish the lessons of life on those who are ignorant enough to wish us otherwise. All right, I love y'all. Peace. I will holler at y'all next time.